Alrighty then, let's get the show on the road. This is going to be oodles of fun. Make sure the posting stuff is done. And let's get that taken care of. Here we go. Where's my Twitter? There we go. Word up. All right. Now everybody is aware that I am live on Age of Wonders Planetfall. How's it going, everybody? Mobius Y here. Time of recording this Monday, February 14th. I totally forgot it was Valentine's Day this past weekend. But, you know, it's, self-love day for me, I suppose you could say. I just chilled. I made myself a nice dinner. Had some chicken drumsticks, did up some rice and steamed some veggies. Nothing too fancy, but it was great. Anyways, as you can see, tonight, we're on a different game. We're on Age of Wonders Planetfall. This is a game that is also published by Paradox Interactive. It is done by Triumph Studios. They've done a slew of games in the past. One that I remember very fondly was way back in the day, like 2006, I want to say. I played a good little game, maybe 2007. I played a good little game called Overlord, where you play as the bad guy in a fantasy setting. And you control these little minions that do your bidding and can cause havoc and stuff like that. Or you can be a benign overlord where everybody loves you even though you're evil. It was a great game. And last year, in November, around Remembrance Day, I was like, hey, this is on sale. I was able to pick up the base game plus the first two DLCs, Revelations and Invasions. All of it for barely 20 bucks Canadian. Base game plus the first two DLCs, 20 bucks Canadian. That's cheaper than I could get for like a lot of base games plus additional DLC. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I've heard nothing but good things about this game. I'm willing to try it out. And this is a great fucking game. I'm kind of kicking myself for not picking it up in 2019 and supporting it when it first came out. But at the same time, I'm enjoying playing it where it is now after several updates, a year's worth of updates and stuff. I don't have the final DLC, which is the Star Kings DLC, unfortunately. And yes, I did say the final DLC. Unfortunately, it was said by Triumph Studios that they were not going to continue doing DLC for this and go the usual Paradox path where they continue developing and releasing DLC for the game. Which is sad, but, you know, maybe they'll continue doing some patches over the course of the next several months or the rest of the year. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe. But it sounds to me like they kind of want to move on to other things. And that's too bad, because this game is fucking awesome. You got like awesome gameplay mechanics. You got the empire building, like Civilization. And when you take your armies into battle, it's like fucking XCOM. And XCOM was great. And, like, the factions are all different and unique. The secret text is cool. There's all sorts of customization. You can customize your commander. And there's an awesome soundtrack, as you can hear with the title music, that I am totally not playing through my headset off of my phone. I'm going to shut that off now and try to follow along chat by opening the Twitch app. I hope people can hear me, because I don't know if this is behaving like when I stream Stellaris Console Edition. Okay, so I turned the master volume like way down. Usually I have it up to like 100%. And I'm gonna, JB, good to see you, man. Yeah, I just heard myself. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna turn up the music volume. You'll notice that it's a very different title screen music, because with each bit of DLC, the title screen music changed. Revelations had its own main screen theme, and Invasions has its own main screen theme, so differences. So yeah, JP, if you could just keep track and let me know if the volume is coming through okay, like if you can still hear the game, but you can still hear me talking clear as day over top of it. So anyways, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff you can do in this game. We can hit continue, which is continue with the game that I've been playing for like off and on for like weeks. And I've been playing it a lot last week as well, but we're not going to jump in that. So you got things you can do. There's a whole campaign in this game, and each DLC comes with a new little bit of campaign. There's a portion in the base game where you can control the various races and stuff, and they have their own little kind of little story-based kind of missions. Revelations, same thing. And then Invasions, same thing with the new faction that came with that DLC. I'm going to do something really quick here. The screen is going on pause because I want to move the streaming box from the very bottom middle, which will be in the way of a lot of shit. I'm going to move it to the... I'm going to try moving it to like the top left or something. So give me one moment. It's going to go to a pause screen for a sec. Okay, maybe that's better. We'll see. Hey, huh, that's interesting. The stream did not go to... Oh, it did. It did. It just took a while for my phone to show it. 100% in here. Good, good, good. All right. So thanks for coming by, JB. Carbon 14XYZ. Huh, how's it going? Razor, I see you there, buddy. I see you lurking. Thanks for coming by. I know it's super duper late for you. Anyways... So, as I was saying, there's a few things you can do in this game. There's the campaign, where, as I said, you go through campaign missions, story-based missions with the different factions. And the base game has 6 factions that you can play as, and each one is quite unique. He hides, yeah. Each faction is quite unique, but there's also what's called secret techs, which determine some bonus like abilities and units that you can get. And you can mix and match the secret techs with any of the factions when you make your own custom commander, or there are pre-made commanders that have like a wide assortment of the secret techs and their faction stuff. So 6 factions, 6 secret techs in the base game. The Revelations DLC introduces a new secret tech, and the Invasions DLC introduced a new faction, which are those lizard people, the Shakarn. So with just those first 2 DLCs, there's 7 factions, 7 secret techs, and Star Kings, I believe, introduces an 8th faction, which obviously I don't have. That's fine. There's also a lot of new music with every batch of DLC, and like I said, honestly, the soundtrack in this game by the composer, excuse me, I'm going to butcher his name, but I believe it's Michel Vanderbos. That's like 4. It's kind of like broken up into 4 words. He does a fantastic job with the soundtrack for this game. I fucking love it. I've downloaded all of it, even the Star Kings soundtrack, and I don't even have that DLC. So, as I said, there's campaign. You can do what's called your Galactic Empire, where you kind of go around throughout planets in the galaxy, and you just play games, but you also complete like special objectives to get like unique things for your Galactic Empire to make other missions on other planets like easier or something like that. I don't really know how it works. I haven't delved in it too much, but it seems like a kind of thing, an ongoing thing that you can just keep playing rather than just going into random battles repeatedly. Because, like I said, you build up like rewards and stuff like that. And then, of course, there's New Planet, which is just think of it as like the equivalent of a skirmish game from Command and Conquer. You just procedurally generate a one-time use planet that you play on, and you choose the settings for that planet. You can customize it how you pick, choose its landscape, what kind of world it is, whether it's got lots of islands or whether it's lots of little islands, or it's a couple of big continents with some small islands, whether it's all land or whether it's like one Pangea continent and surrounded by water. Pretty cool. And of course, as I said, there is customization. Your commander customization, which we'll jump into, is one of the cool things about this game, I think. So what we can do is just by going over here, I hit right bumper, go to the custom ones. I was trying out all the races and all the different secret techs in various combinations, and so I made my own custom commanders in this section. So like for every faction, it's a different secret tech, because I was like, okay, what does this secret tech bring? How does this faction? What does this faction bring? What does this secret tech bring? I wasn't really concerned about how they combine. Only one I haven't done is the Shakar Inheritor guy yet, so that'll be new for me. But you can pick any of these, or you can pick any of the pre-made ones, and there's a lot of pre-made ones. Like, let's go down the list. Blah, 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 blah. And we're at the bottom. That is a long-ass list of commanders. Because what you can also do with them is not just pick like their race and their secret tech. You can also give them these additional perks over here on the right hand side. If you play Stellaris, or watched me for my Stellaris stuff, this is kind of the equivalent of picking trait points, where you gotta pick some trait points that can give your commander a bonus, either with their own combat skills or throughout their empire. So like their background, if there's no background, there's no extra bonus. If they're a veteran, they start at level 3, and all your units gain 15% more experience when they complete battles. Skilled diplomat, you start with better like opinion, plus 300 relation with all races, excluding your own, and reduced influence cost for talking to the NPC computer factions. And then there's a couple other options here. Covert operative decreases society operations research cost by 20%. So any research projects you're doing for covert operations is cheaper, and you have higher covert strength and covert defense, which is about using covert operations. And the covert operations system in this game is quite simplistic, but I still think it's good. It's kind of fun, and it's engaging a little bit. And I'm hoping that the Stellaris upcoming covert operations espionage system for Stellaris, that'll be on PC probably later this year. I'm hoping it kind of hits it on the same note. You can also start off with a bonus. So like you could have 250 extra energy at the start of the game, or you could have an extra population in your starting colony at the start of the game, or just start off with a larger starting army, stuff like that. And those are like bonuses to your colony. And then the commander loadout is like, what kind of equipment do you want them to start with? So they can all start with basic equipment, which costs nothing, and you can give them close combat equipment, which they have a melee attack and also additional skills to benefit them in melee combat, where they have a skill called Close Quarter Specialist, which increases damage dealt with melee weapons, and Vitality, which increases their maximum hit points. Then, of course, there's Assault Equipment, which gives them better accuracy, as well as increased damage with ranged weapons. Then there's Sharpshooter, which starts them with a sniper rifle, and they have higher accuracy and critical hit chance, as well as increased range damage. You could have them start in a vehicle, like an assault vehicle, which is for attacking and doing damage, or a support vehicle, which is more for assisting the other units with your commander in that stack of army. So if you pick enough bonuses in those 3 areas, the commander loadout, the colony supplement, and the background, which can give you bonuses throughout the game to both your empire and your commander, you have to pick a vice, which is like a negative species trait, where what happens is if you're cruel, your colonies have +4 unhappiness. The happiness mechanic in this game is quite simple. It's either positive or negative. You have to put colonists, you have to put your pops working in happiness slots to counteract unhappiness. If there's unhappiness in the colony, once enough unhappiness builds, you could see riots starting. If there's more happiness, if there's a positive gain of happiness, once enough happiness builds up over time, there's an event that occurs and you get bonus resources for it, which is kind of neat. There's also, for example, Stubborn, which reduces your colony's knowledge by 10%, but at the same time, it also gives you a weird bonus. You teach your army how to refuse changes like you do. You and your commanding army gain +2 resistance to status effects. So with there's resistance to damage and resistance to status effects in this game. So more resistance to status effects is actually kind of good. It's less likely that your units will be like mind controlled or poisoned or things like that, which is kind of cool. I like that fucking short round is as the bottom. Wait, huh? What? I'm not sure what you're referring to. And then there's a lot of customization with the commanders themselves. You can pick an interesting background image, which shows up in the portrait in the top right, and that portrait you see like the whole game. So you can pick something that looks really cool, or you could just pick something very contemporary. This is a Devar commander, so there's backgrounds of a Devar city that you can put them in front of. Where'd that one go? There's only the one? Okay, no, that's weird. So here, this is like oh, there it is. There. Night, day, night, day. So those are options you can have. You can change their posture, like so. And then, of course, you can also give them different accessories, give them different shoulder pads. Like there's a slew of cool things that you can do. Of course, you could just completely randomize and just come up with something weird. And then change what their position in the portrait is. Like so. We can give them something kind of cool, like that. Sure, that works. Sure, why not? Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. And then you can give them a name, or you can randomize. And again, give them a banner, a kind of banner color. Give them a second color on that banner, and the nice thing is that these change so that they're very easily visible at all times. So if you pick white, you don't get like light colors. You don't get like a light yellow, or you can't put white on white. So you get dark colors so that the banner's easily visible. And there's a whole slew of symbols that you can choose from too. A lot of these are actually in the game. So these are just examples, and we're gonna back the hell out of that. So it's kind of cool. The guy at the bottom of your list, he looks like Chunk from the Goonies in a diving suit. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Devar have a habit of looking like they're in some kind of a big suit sort of thing. So just for the record, I'm probably just going to play one of my custom commanders, this guy here, because he is Vanguard, which I think is kind of like the default race. It's like the human race, sort of, and Voidtech, which is my favorite secret technology. So we'll get into a game with that pretty shortly. So the 6 races are, you've got the Vanguard. The Vanguard consists of rough folk with few ties to society, so the effects of long interstellar travel and cryosleep and the resulting time dilation doesn't matter to them. They use firearms and laser weapons. Each race has 2 types of weapons that they pretty much solely focus in. All their units use those kind of weapons. So with the Vanguard, it's guns and lasers. The Amazon is actually another really fun race. I'm actually considering playing them. Maybe we'll make a custom Amazon commander. The bioengineering Amazons have the ability to alter life and survive harsh circumstances. Their fearsome troops have Spartan discipline and are experts in guerrilla tactics. Their arsenal includes genetically engineered beasts that the Amazons ride into battle. So they do have mounted units. They have like creatures that they'll ride into battle, including one which is basically a big space Tyrannosaurus Rex with laser guns on its head. Are those Tyrannosaurus Rexes with laser guns attached to their foreheads? Yes. Yes, they are. The Amazon also use laser weapons, but they also have bioweapons, which is a different type. Instead of doing kinetic damage like the firearms do, it does like bio damage, which is kind of like a poison damage almost. The Assembly is a race of cyborgs born from destruction. These people aim to bring their newfound peace to the universe by breaking down the chaos of the galaxy and reassembling it into a perfect new whole. So these guys are like space zombies. They can reassemble dead. They can reassemble dead people, and they look like absolute fucking mechanical nightmares. Like, let's just randomize a couple, for example. Like, this person doesn't even have a body. They just have a spine, and that's it. There's this guy, too. He's just kind of got hunks of metal fused to him and stuff like that. I mean, they're kind of freakish looking. Now, they use they also use firearms weapons, just like the Vanguard, but they also have arc weapons, which is like electric damage. So that's a new kind of weapon group, which is pretty cool. And a couple other races use arc weapons as well. The Devar are a thrifty race of survivalists. These are basically space dwarves. The Devar work hard to mine planets for all their worth to gain as many resources as possible for their consortium's survival and welfare. They also use firearms, but they're the only race that uses explosive weapons. And they are space dwarves. As I said, they look like the Goonies in the diving suits, like what's his face? JB was talking about. 94 Razors, what's going on? Thanks for coming by. Interloper! Razor on Razor! Fight! The Kirko. Through rapid evolution, the Kirko seek to restore what was broken and will find retribution for the terrible fate that has befallen them. So these are an insectoid former hive mind race. I say former hive mind because the hive mind is broken, which you don't hear about very much in sci-fi. It's usually, oh, this is a hive mind, or it used to be an individualistic society and became a hive mind. Not the other way around. The Kirko used to be a hive mind that was enslaved, and then their hive mind was actually broken. So they're kind of on a big vengeance quest. They're insectoid. They also use bioweapons like the Amazon, but they also have psi weapons, which is like psychic damage. So that's pretty unique. Only the Kirko and the Syndicate have psychic weapons. And as I said, they are insectoid. They're kind of menacing-looking insects, but they can look pretty cool. And this race, they're a little bit more focused on melee combat. All of their units are biological in nature. They have no mechanical units, so they have like no machines, they have no cyborgs, nothing like that. And so they basically rely on different kind of forms of their species to take into battle. We'll get to the Shakaarn in just a second. There's the Syndicate and the Vanguard. Okay, the Syndicate are a group of ruthless trading houses from the frontiers of the Empire. With the Star Union gone, they see a universe of opportunity. So the lore is that the Star Union has collapsed over the previous couple hundred years, and these factions are basically vying for control and power in the galaxy. So the Syndicate was around when the Star Union was, and they're taking advantage of the chaos going on in the galaxy to expand their influence. There can be only one. Yeah, no kidding. So the Syndicate also uses psi weapons, just like the Kirko, but they also use arc weapons, like the Assembly. So they have the electric and psionic weapons groups. Which is pretty cool. They have some very unique units called Indentured, which are basically slaves, and you can equip certain mods to other units that also turns them into Indentured units. And then it's basically about buffing those Indentured units in your armies, as well as you can even resurrect Indentured units. It's actually pretty cool. I liked playing as the Syndicate. The Syndicate were cool. One of my favorites so far. Next to the Amazon, I want to say. Their appearance, these ones look very, very humanoid, a little bit like almost a little bit more space elven, because they're a lot thinner and a lot more gaunt and whatnot. But you get the idea. They're a lot more human looking. They don't have the pointy ears. And then the 7th race introduced with the Invasions DLC is the Shakaarn. The Shakaarn waited at the edge of the known Star Union, preparing and researching, spying from within. Now, with the fall of the Union, they are ready to strike and conquer that which is their right. So they have... This is basically Age of Wonders Planetfall's take on the lizard people that have infiltrated Earth's top forms of government and whatnot. And they actually have the ability to turn a lot of enemy units under their control and be like, oh, this was actually a secret Shakaarn agent. That's now my unit. Or they turn into like a Shakaarn unit. They have a unique kind of weapon group. They have sound weapons group. And they also have omni weapons, which combines sound and laser technology. So they do have laser weapon technology like the Vanguard, like the Amazon, but they also have the sound weapons group, which is very unique to the Shakaarn, very different. And you know, they look like your big space lizard people, pretty intimidating, pretty scary looking, kind of, sort of, you know, basically sentient dinosaurs. If it doesn't warm up outside, there will be only one. Yeah, no kidding. Now the secret techs is you can mix and match them however you so pick. So we're gonna go through those just a teeny tiny bit. The Prometheans are planetary exterminators, eradicating threats with their Pyrex fires. So the Promethean is all about fire. They utilize fire a lot. Their units have fire attacks, so they kind of combine pretty good with laser technology, because laser is all about thermal damage as well, or fire damage. And you can basically increase, like, they have some very basic mods where if an enemy unit is on fire, it's suffering from burning, or what's the other one? I can't remember. It's not incendiary. It starts with an IN though. Doesn't matter. Your units gain like extra accuracy and damage or something like that, or like crit chance against those units. They're all about doing lots of fire damage. They can blanket parts of the battlefield with fire to do lingering fire damage to units that stay in those zones, in those hexes during a tactical battle. They're pretty neat. And each of these secret techs also has a Doomsday Weapon that can win the game. The Promethean Doomsday Weapon completely cleanses the planet. It disperses a whole bunch of Pyrex gas in the atmosphere and then sets it all on fire and cleanses the planet with fire. Cynumbra. The Cynumbra employ dark psionic powers to tear holes in reality and summon devious entities from the abyss. So this does add a means to do psionic damage. The Cynumbra are all about like demoralizing and causing despair amongst enemy units, as well as feeding off of that despair. So they do have abilities which can like siphon HP into your own unit, and like demoralize them and whatnot, but also gain HP for your unit. It's pretty crazy. And their Doomsday Weapon basically causes everybody to like commit mass suicide on the planet and stuff like that. Pretty crazy. Synthesis. Synthesis manipulates AIs to their advantage, hacking and compromising systems for their own gain. And each of these secret techs doesn't just have like mods and technologies and stuff like that, but they also have a couple of units, like mostly support units that supplant your main factions units as well. So with the Prometheans, they get the Purifier, which has like a big flame plasma gun kind of thing. Cynumbra has an Initiate, which uses psychic attacks to debuff and demoralize enemies. And Synthesis gets the Hacker. Synthesis is all about using what's called daemons, or demons, I should say. It reads as daemons, but they say demons in the game. But they use these demons to basically debuff enemies or buff enemies, or even summon them into battle to help out, and they can hack and override enemy mechanical units, as it says, to either completely disable them or gain control of those mechanical units, like cyborg and mechanical units, stuff like that. And their Doomsday device cybernetically connects everybody to the Synthesis network once it's deployed. It basically releases like a big cloud of nanites throughout the atmosphere, and then everybody gets cybernetically connected to the Synthesis network when it's activated. Voidtech, this is my favorite. I love in the south, and there's 5 inches of snow and it's 2 degrees Fahrenheit. I think Mother Nature is drunk. I have zero sympathy for you because, you live in the south, my bad. I can't feel sorry for you because it's been minus 35 Celsius here for the last week. Mickey B, what's going on, everybody? Hey, everybody, just popped on to remind everyone to check out Mobius Y's Discord, where you can take part in the Mobius Y community, such as voting for what games he streams. Have a good stream, all, from Mickey B, the Discord community manager. You are not the Discord community manager. Nice try. Tech heresy, yeah. So Voidtech warps the laws of physics, allowing the manipulation and teleportation of matter and energy. They get what's called an Echo Walker. It is a melee unit that can actually create a copy of itself that lasts until the end of the battle. And if one of those copies is killed, then whichever one is remaining becomes the unit. So it creates a copy of itself, and you suddenly have 2 Echo Walkers on the battle attacking enemies at the same time. And you have to kill them both to actually take out the lone Echo Walker unit. They have highly mobile units. They're my favorite because they manipulate the battlefield. You can teleport enemies around the map. You can teleport your friendly units around the map to gain positional advantages and stuff like that. And they have really unique mods where they can have it so that if you can equip certain heavy units, like your big tanks, with a certain mod where every time it gets shot, the enemy unit that shot at it gets teleported a random certain amount of hexes in a random direction. Or you can have it so that you enact a special shield on one of your units, where every time your unit gets shot, it gets randomly teleported like 2 hexes away. And it just really fucks with people's attacks when you do that. I really like Voidtech, and its Doomsday device, Doomsday Weapon, to win the game, opens up the quantum fabric of reality to other dimensions to create what's the word I'm looking for? To basically create an infinite amount of energy generation by tapping into those quantum realities, into those other dimensions. Xenoplague. The Xenoplague spreads through a highly adaptive alien parasite and can be used to create biological weapons, develop super soldiers, and evolve planetary populations. So their starting unit is the Pustule. The Xenoplague is the most unique because you do not construct or build new units like the other ones. Like any of these other secret techs, you get their special units and you can construct them at your colonies just like any of your faction units. The Xenoplague is not that way. It grants you new pustules, or even evolves those pustules into the Destroyer or the Plague Lord when it survives battles and when battles are completed and stuff like that. So it's very different, and it's about it's more about enhancing your biological units with these Xenoplague mods that can give them like more speed, give them more damage, or they can release these spores that can poison nearby enemy units or infect them with certain diseases, stuff like that. So the Xenoplague, its Doomsday Weapon basically releases the Xenoplague throughout the entire atmosphere and infects the entire planet. Celestion, this is like the opposite of Sinumbra, where Sinumbra is all about demoralizing and causing enemies to fall into despair and basically having everybody fall into a deep dark pit of, you know, suicidal tendencies and stuff like that. The Celestions are an ancient order of psionically gifted individuals that strive to achieve inner enlightenment and create balance and harmony in the universe. They believe psionic power comes from the stars and use this power to protect their ideals and teachings. So these guys start with the Lightbringer, which is like a melee unit that punches with these flaming fists of glory and enlightenment. They're pretty cool. So you can sway enemy soldiers and colonists to your cause. You can enlighten your own units to cause them to do bonus damage against enemy units that are afflicted with a special status effect called Soulburn. Soulburn is basically something that Celestian units cause to non-enlightened units to debuff or enhance the abilities of Celestian units against the Soulburned enemy. Been waiting ages to be awake to pull that joke. Couldn't resist. Yeah. So Celestian's pretty cool. They're all about, like it says, it's all about harmony and creating unity throughout the universe. And then lastly, the Heritor. This is with the DLC, the Revelations DLC. The Heritor are scions of a theocratic dynasty known as the Estique. Their ancient technology allows them to harness energy and prolong their lives. They seek to reincarnate billions of followers that lay entombed across the galaxy and reestablish their divine rule. So their starting unit is the Siphoner. Heritor, the Estique technology is all about using these things called essence charges. They're a bonus thing that your heroes and units can get, where as your units build up these essence charges, they can use certain abilities that use those essence charges and give them extra like bonus abilities, or just cause extra damage with their abilities, depending on how many essence charges they have stored up and use in the casting of that ability. It gives it extra effects, or it just makes it stronger. So it's very, very unique, very, very different. As I said, my favorite is Voidtech, and we're probably just going to play with the Vanguard, the guy that I kind of preset, this guy right here. So we're going to play with this dude. He starts off, he's got a merchant scion background, so he's got decreased economy research cost by 15%, so researching things to improve production in the colonies is cheaper. We also start off with a data repository where we start off and we'll get 2 random techs at the start of the game. He's just got basic equipment. Ooh, that's the wrong goddamn commander. What the hell are you doing, Moby? This guy. Here we go. Data repository. Vanguard basic equipment. So he just starts with a laser rifle, primary weapon, and a basic grenade secondary weapon, and he has no vices. So I'm just going to take him into a game here. We're half an hour in, and I totally forgot to do the sellout shit. So those of you who are enjoying my videos, thank you very much for and watching this in the future on YouTube. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more unedited streams that I upload. I'm going to stream Age of Wonders Planetfall probably for a little while here until I decide to either do something else, or until May when Mass Effect Legendary Edition comes out. I put polls up on YouTube, on Twitter, and in my Discord, and there was overwhelming agreement that people want me to buy Mass Effect Legendary Edition and stream it, so I will go ahead and do that. So I might just stream Age of Wonders Planetfall and try to get through like a game or two until Mass Effect Andromeda drops. I really like this game, and I think more people should give it a shot. That's my opinion on that one. LOTR fan, what's going on? I am not doing ASMR, JB. You shut up. So again, those of you watching this in the future on YouTube, if you want to see some more of my content, or if you just want to stay up to date with Stellaris Console Edition, subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you're notified when I upload additional videos. The goal for 2021 is to try and hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of December. It's a pretty tall order, but I think we can do it together. So hit that red subscribe button and share my content with anybody who you think would enjoy watching it. If there's anybody that you think would also like Age of Wonders Planetfall, send them my way in these videos, and maybe I can convince them to give them a shot. I'm hoping we can get into some... We're not going to get into some massive battles, but hopefully some gameplay in a little bit here. And for the last... definitely for the second half of this stream. Will convince people to give this game a fair shot, because this game is nothing short of fucking awesome. And if you are watching this in the future on YouTube, don't forget to check out the links in the description below. You'll find one to my Twitch channel where I stream this off of, so come on by, see what I've got going on. I normally stream other various games that my viewers have voted on, but I'm just going to hold off on that for the time being until probably later this year. We'll do another viewer poll and see what other games that I'll play live. But come on by and see what I've got going on. I'm streaming 4 days a week at this time, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So pop on by, see what I've got going on. And I will be more than happy to try and keep you entertained for 2+ hours. There's also a link to my Twitter feed. Give me a follow there. It's a great way to keep in touch with me, and I post important announcements all the time. Last but not least, there is a link to my own personal Discord channel that I mentioned earlier, and Mickey is definitely not the Discord community manager of. It's not mandatory to join, but I highly recommend it if you want to stay up to date on what I've got going on. I post announcements like that I'm going live or stuff like that, and we actually do have a pretty cool community. Folks like JB, Mickey B, Razor X06, LOTR fan, we're all in there. You can interact with us. Most all of us play Stellaris Console Edition, so you can talk to us about the game there as well. So yeah, that should be hope to see you there. I should have done that sellout crap a lot earlier. Anyways, so here with the, selecting a planet to play on. There's different kinds of planets that you can play on. Obviously, for your first game, you kind of want to do like a practice world, and it's a very easy, simplistic setup, and it only puts you in a world with one AI commander that you don't necessarily have to go to battle against, but it's just to get your bearings. We're just going to do a default Imperial world. I'm going to select that. And we're going to go to an advanced setup because I want to do a really large world size or enormous world size, and it normally won't let us do that. So I'm going to go into the advanced settings and change it. Takes a second to load. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to up the number of commanders, and the commanders, the more commanders, the more empires is basically it is. The commanders are the equivalent of an empire, is how it goes. I want to bring in some more difficult, like I've been playing a lot of AI on like easy difficulty, so I'm just going to bring in normal AIs, I think, to see if they're a little tougher, because I'm hoping that then they will use like covert ops against me and stuff like that and actually kind of put up a fight or something. I don't know, we'll see. So I'm a human player. You can actually set it up so that you play as like 12 different empires on the planet, and you can try out all the races in secret techs, or most of the races in secret techs in your first game, because you're playing as all of the commanders. That is actually a thing. So we're going to pick this guy because, like I said, he's Vanguard, which is like kind of the starting the starting race. It's the first one you play in the campaign, in the tutorial. So I think they're kind of the starting default race, and I like Voidtech as secret techs, but it's also the same. You also start off with Voidtech in the campaign and in the what's it called. Okay, so we're gonna go to the advanced settings on the right here. Let's go to game speed. We're gonna set it to very fast, at very fast speed. Reduced research costs and colonist food costs. What the colonist food costs mean is, as our colonies produce food, that's when you get new colonies. Select the amount of resources each player receives at the start of the game. Let's set it to very high. Starting units, we're going to have them be strong. NPC dwelling mode, we're going to set that to standard. Excuse me. NPC dwellings are like these additional factions that you can interact with in diplomacy on the map. You can form friendships with them and then actually buy units from them, or even mods to power up your own units, or you can just straight up go to war with them. And they make demands of you and also hand out quests, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. We'll just go with... let's go ahead and do a standard AI passivity. What's low? AI will interact slightly less and is less inclined to starting wars. They can only use covert ops while at war and have a lower starting dislike towards other players. Now, let's leave it standard. Spawner aggression will do standard. Defender strength, let's do moderate. World events, we're going to leave those on. Yep. Message from... I just got a message. Okay. World events, we're going to leave those on. Invasions are going to be late. I don't even know what invasions are. I haven't experienced one. The invasion will happen around turn 85. Invasion's difficulty, we'll leave it normal. Now, huge disclaimer, I'm not very good at this game. I'm not. I haven't played it that much, in all honesty. Let's set the invasion's chance to 40%. Okay, Empire quests. These are like special bonus objectives that you can have available in the game, and the first person to complete one also gets some like bonus resources or bonus equipment for their hero, something like that. So victory conditions, let's do, no, not score, because that ends the game after X amount of turns. Doomsday is build your secret text Doomsday Weapon. Unifier victory, have everybody allied. Domination, defeat everybody. Allied victory. If we team up with people, yeah, we want that here. Okay, so I'm going to have the max hero count super duper high. Heroes are like sub-commanders. They're not your actual commander who commands your entire empire, but they can lead armies, and they can power up and level up. They gain experience, level up, and can get extra skills and equipment just like your commander. So in that instance, it's like Heroes of Might and Magic, and that they command your armies around, and you can give them they gain experience from battles, they can level up, gain additional abilities through leveling up and acquiring those skills, or gain additional abilities depending on what mods you give them, what kind of weapons, what kind of primary weapon you give them, the secondary weapon you give them, and then the 3 or 4 mods that you give them as well, which can also give them more abilities. So it's a lot like Heroes of Might and Magic in managing your heroes and what kind of equipment they have and stuff like that. It's really cool. And as I said, you take them into battle with you, and it turns into XCOM on our hex board. It's dope. I love it. Maybe I'll do more computers. I don't know. Turn system, class turns, turn time. Combat versus AI. Always ask. Always ask. Observe manual combat. Never. Tactical idle timer. Leave that alone. Enable combat retry. Let's leave that on. Combat cards. I don't care for that. All right. Let's go to the world. Okay. World size enormous. Landmass type. Let's do Pangea, because I like having water. But I don't really want to run around and hop between islands like crazy anymore. Template. Let's do a new style. Here we go. Change name. I'm going to change it to Stream. So we'll go Stream. I'm just naming it right now. This might take like 5-10 minutes to get this all set up, because I want it done kind of just right, so that it's kind of neat. Okay, so in the game there are these things called landmarks, which act like special buildings that offer a lot of production to your colonies that they're attached to, which is pretty cool. Dwellings, let's have that up there. Settlements, let's keep that up there. Settlements are pretty cool. Okay, now the available NPC factions. We can have the Growth, the Autonom, the Paragon, the Spacers, the Sci-Fish, and then the 2 from DLC are the Forgotten and the Therians. So the Growth is a collective of intelligent plants living in symbiosis with supporting life forms. Central to the Growth is their psychoactive nectar that allows them to control other creatures. Now these, like I said, these are like additional factions that you can interact with and actually buy units or mods from if you're on friendly terms with them, or you can go to war with them on the map, not just other empires and stuff. The Autonom Npc Faction consists of the Star Union's emergency service robots. Their backup systems allowed them to develop autonomous sentience after their separation from Core, which was like the major... Think of it as like the hosting server for all of the Autonom's designated functions. The Paragon faction is made up of the decaying remnants of the ruling class of the Star Union. Cybernetic implants have allowed them to survive the centuries since the collapse. So they're a lot more humanoid. They're like the remains of the Star Union, so they're kind of like, they're in these decaying bodies that are totally amped up with cybernetic enhancements. They're not as nightmarish as the Assembly. They can still die, but you know, they're still kind of pseudo-zombies. The Spacers are violent gangs that roam the ruined worlds of the Star Union, looting anything of value. They originated from the masses that were kept subdued using infinite virtual entertainment. So these guys are basically psychos. These are the this is the Mad Max faction. The Sci-Fish is an ancient species of psionically powered creatures originating from the Void, which is an additional dimension in the galaxy. They acquire knowledge by extracting and consuming the brains of other organisms. The Forgotten faction is comprised of ancient Estique who were destined for eternal rest, not meant or fit for reawakening. They have mysteriously awoken and now seek corpses, the only form of sustenance they can use to preserve their crimson rotting essence. So the Forgotten are from the Revelations DLC. And the Therians, I believe, are also from the Revelations DLC. Either that or the Invasions DLC, I can't remember. The Therians faction are the results of genetic experiments fusing human and animal DNA. These armed refugees retained their human consciousness and intelligence, but with adapted bodies and senses. So, they're basically genetically enhanced sentient animals. They're actually pretty cool. They have like little wolves that hunt in packs with shotguns and stuff like that. And then they've got foxes that have big-ass sniper rifles. It's pretty neat. We're going to have a lot of pickups on the ground because pickups tend to be guarded, but you can pick them up and get a couple additional resources. Anomalous sites, will crank those up. The anomalous sites in this game, they tie up one of your heroes for a few turns, and it takes your hero a couple turns to explore that anomalous site, but various story-based events happen when they complete them, which is pretty neat. Climb layout, poles, patches, or noise. Let's do poles. So the north and south portions of this continent will be, what's the word I'm looking for? Arctic. Okay, now I'm going to drop the volcanic. 11, 10. There we go. This is what takes a while, is adjusting these sliders. I'm going to drop the ocean climb way down. This never seems to fucking do anything, but I'm going to do it anyways. Drop, 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 drop. Come on now. Let's put it down to 15. Now, Arcadian, Arctic, Arid, and Fungal, those are the main climbs. And I want as many of those as possible. That's good. Overlays, these are like the terrain types that will be in the sectors or in the areas with their climbs. Wetland, we'll leave that low. Barren, that's fine. Mountains, we'll have that high. Forest, we'll turn that up a bit. Fertile plains, we'll turn that up. Ruins, we'll turn that up. Shrubland, don't really care. Okay, Fertile Plains, come on, let's turn this up. Man, this game looks like it's going to be great. It's pretty dope, dude. It'll be cooler when, like, I'm just going through all the customization shit that you can dive into before you even play a game. And I know I'm wasting a lot of time, and it's probably super boring compared to actual gameplay, so maybe I should timestamp this video and be like, gameplay starts here. Just leave a comment and pin it, or something like that. Rivers, let's have a bunch of rivers. Chasms, that's fine. Okay. So we're on an enormous world. There's 5 other random commanders, which will have, they'll be of various factions, and they'll have their own secret tech, and we're not going to know what secret tech they have. And the other cool thing about this game is that the AI has different personality types. They could be a covert operative that likes using covert ops on their allies and enemies. They could be a negotiator, but like a protector of the weak, where they form friendly relations with players who have a low, like, what's the word I'm looking for? A low competence rating, which is their economy, their military is all weaker than most other players, and they dislike stronger players, or vice versa. They could do it where they're on good relations with strong players and strong commanders, and weaker commanders, they look down on them, have a negative opinion of them too. So I think we're set up the way that should be good. I'm hoping this game goes by fairly quickly. Maybe I'll just try to rush the Doomsday Weapon and launch it. Or something, but we'll see what happens. Let's launch the game. At the very least, I want to show off the cool stuff you can do. Valor and strength to you, Commander of the Vanguard Expeditionary Forces. Cryosleep missions allowed you and your ranks of outcasts and adventurers to escape your past and claim new worlds for the Star Union. But while you were sleeping, the Empire disappeared. You will need all of your combat and survival skills to face the forces that brought down the Union. The past is about to catch up with you, Commander. So there's always a little blurb about your past, about your faction, whenever you're starting a new game, and it's while it's loading, so it's kind of cool. And of course, that is your commander, and your commander does take to the field and will participate in combat and can be killed. There actually is a way that you can resurrect fallen heroes. It costs a lot of resources to do it. And I think it takes a little bit of time, but it's totally doable. So if you lose your commander, it's not the end of the world. It's not like you automatically lose or anything like that, thankfully. What's going on with my crazy glue? Where's the cap? Oh, it's there. Good. Okay. Really should use that crazy glue. I gotta fix one of the little minis. Am I coming through okay? Like, is the game volume too high? I know sometimes I talk quite quietly, and I get worried about that because it's like, maybe the game volume is just too overpowering and you can't really hear my mumbling, you know what I mean? But yeah, I know I'm getting a little bit paranoid about it, but I'm just double checking, because this particular game is actually quite loud, especially compared to Stellaris, for example. I know I have some of the volumes high, but the master volume is quite low. Oh. Alright, finish that off. That is the first time in I don't know how many years that I drank Pepsi. I can't really do soda pops anymore. Hear everything loud and clear. Very good. Good. It's actually, that's one of the little nitpicky things that's kind of, you really got to manage properly when you're editing videos too, is it's like you want people watching to be able to hear the game, or sorry, kind of hear what's going on in the background in the game, but more importantly, your voice needs to come through loud and clear. And when I'm editing like a direct to YouTube video or something like that, it's like the background music, the loud portions of the background music can't be so overpowering that you have difficulty hearing me talk. So that's one of the things I always dick around with a lot when I'm editing videos, but I wager everybody does that. It's the smart thing to do. Okay, so now that the planet's been generated, it's going to finish up loading. Man, Pepsi is the best. I drink one daily. I wish I didn't, but I'm addicted. Ew, gross, man. I don't know what to say about that. It's kind of nasty. Okay, so we've got some details. So the planet is in the top left, on the left side is like details about the planet. The planet name is randomly generated. The planet itself is also randomly generated. We'll pretty much never see this planet ever again. The planet's called Semper. We have 6 players, including myself. 37% covered in water. Hopefully it's not a crazy amount. 63% land. So like 2/3 land, 1/3 water, which is fine. Objectives: last man standing, domination, unifier, or doomsday. And then on the right is like a brief overview of your commander. Race is Vanguard. The symbol on the left is for Vanguard. The symbol on the right is for Voidtech. And then once you are familiar with those perks at the bottom there, you can look at a glance as to the perks your commander brings into combat. All right, ready for Planetfall. Let's do this. Oh, Jesus. Interesting start. Now, the cool thing is all these little ships and all the colonies, all the towns, all the cities, all that stuff, they look different depending on what kind of faction you have or you're playing as, which is pretty cool. Okay, so immediately to start, we've got our colony here in this little area. We've got some mountains nearby. Unfortunately, big sectors, as they're called, with mountains, like here on Livid Peaks, they're uninhabitable, so we can't use them for resource production, which really sucks. But these little areas down here, like the Fabricator Municipality, we can use, that's called a sector that we can use for generating resources, which is pretty cool. All objective report, blah, go away. Is it snowing up your way? We actually have a foot of sleet today, very rare in my area. No, it actually hasn't snowed here since like Saturday, something like that. Okay, so now that we have achieved Planetfall, you can see we actually have 2 armies. There's this one here, which has 6 units in it, including our commander. That's them right there. And then this one right here has 3 units in it. That's what those numbers mean. So this one with the 6 units is actually our commander. 1 Echo Walker. You always start with at least 1 of the starting units from your secret tech. And then the rest are various Vanguard units. So we have the Assault Bike, which is kind of like it's a mobile, hard-hitting skirmisher unit, as it says. We've got the little robot dog, the Pug. It's a support unit, and then we have 2 of our basic troopers, which they have grenades, they have ranged assault rifles, and we can power them up even more with mods. Now we've also got this guy here, which is just a lone trooper, and 2 of our flying units called Owls. These are actually scouts. We're going to use them to scout in just a second. So if I click the right stick, I go into a more kind of strategic overview, and you can get different aspects of it. You can look at a military overview, an economic overview or an operations overview. I usually just keep it on economy, and it's a lot easier to see how the land is divided up into its various sectors. So in civilization, you have your colony kind of expand its borders like one hex at a time, whereas in Age of Wonders, you grab it a whole sector at a time, and then all of that entire sector, it's kind of like grabbing a single star system. That whole star system is now yours, and everything in it is now yours. So you acquire sectors and attach them to your colonies, and build certain types of bonuses on those sectors, and that's how they generate resources for your colonies. You can also see that there's a couple other units or other armies on the field here. Over here, this yellow one, that's actually a Spacer army. This is an NPC army of the Spacers faction. And now they're not all Spacer units, like there's these wild swift beaks, which are just a basic creature. But how these guys behave is they're like a guard. If we wanted, we could go to war and attack that army to try and gain control of this landmark that they're sitting on. Landmarks are very useful because they're really good for generating resources. So we could attack them, or we could move an army up to them and try to negotiate with them to just leave peacefully, and that costs influence. Right here is a pickup with no guard sitting on top of it. In fact, there's one right here as well. Imperial energy stash. So by grabbing that, we get a small amount of energy, which is resource, and then over here is a Cosmite stash, which gives us a little bit of Cosmite. That's very good. That will come in handy. It looks like, because this zone is kind of reddish, this looks like it's a spawner. Yeah. So spawners spawn small armies that have like a red symbol over top of them. They're hostile. They'll actually run around and attack your colonies and stuff like that. So you got to take out the spawners, and they spawn what are called Marauders. Now these guys with the white symbols over top of them, these are just Marauders. They don't move, but you have to defeat them in order to grab the resources that they're sitting on, or the structures they're protecting. So over here, these guys are protecting a pickup. It's an Imperial standard. All units in the collecting army, including commanders and heroes, rank up by a single level. So we do want the commander to level up. We're going to go grab that Imperial standard, and then these guys are sitting on a building. This grants plus 10 energy to the colony is linked to, and plus 5 energy when in an energy exploitation, which is basically how you determine what the sector produces for you. Okay, so I'm going to hit right trigger. We got 2 free techs. Oh, good. We got Nanite Support. Awesome. And that guy needs orders. I don't care. And then we also got Subjugation Ordinance. Okay.
Blades have always been lethal, especially striking a foe flying at supersonic speed. Orindra Reaver, Syndicate Assassin.
So one of the really interesting things is akin to Civilization Tech. There's a little quote, and they came up with a crap load of quotes for this game that they obviously had to make them all up. Whereas Civilization uses quotes from like famous philosophers or leaders throughout history and stuff like that. These ones are 100% made up, but some of them are pretty good. So we got some additional mods from that, and we'll be able to go over that in a second. All right, first things first. I want our commander to move up to here. Now, unfortunately, he can't move the whole way up there and actually attack these guys yet. As you can see, there's a little white 1 in the middle of that red circle, meaning that it's going to be next turn that he gets to them, which really sucks. But we'll be able to take care of that. I want him to level up, so he's going to be the only one that attacks these 2 Marauder guards and gets the XP from it. Whereas these guys, we can actually split the army up by selecting the army, hit up on the D-pad, move the cursor over, select this Vanguard Owl, and then I'm going to hit split and send it off in one direction, over this way. Oops, that works. He can go and explore that way, and I'm actually going to hit right on the D-pad, which sets him to auto-explore. As you can see, on his next turn, he's going to go over this way and try to get these pickups. The nice thing is that when your scouts or any units are set to auto-explore, they look for pickups, ones that are not guarded. But we're going to send this one over here. We send this owl right over here to this pickup. And energy convoy, there we go. So we've got 30 additional energy for that. And then we'll send this guy over here to this pickup. Actually, let's grab the Cosmite. The Cosmite will be more useful. So we'll send him to this pickup, grab this Cosmite. Boop, there we go. We got 11 Cosmite for that. Then we'll send him to this one on the next turn. There. We'll go to that one. So as you can see, this is a spawner. It's got a Plague Lord, a Destroyer, and a Pustule. Those are the 3 Xenoplague units, and then it's got some additional NPC units. I don't know if it's your end or mine, but there's some video skipping issues. Could very well be mine in the really bad weather. I'm going to guess it's on your end, buddy, but it could also just be that like the camera work in this game is a little bit choppy at times, especially if I zoom out, like so. Like you can see the frame rate kind of goes down a little bit, sort of. I don't know if the way I'm wording it makes sense. Okay, so the other thing we need to do, we're going to set this guy on here. He's just going to protect the colony. So we'll head down on the D-pad and just leave him there. He will remain in that guard mode until I select him again to move or something. Okay, so we need to set production here in this colony. Now with every colony, they build a central building. So a central reactor core, which provides additional energy for the colony. A central biofarm provides additional food. Central Replicator provides additional production, which is the orange gear. Central Science Lab provides additional knowledge, which allows you to research stuff more quickly. This is also where you construct your additional buildings. It's video and audio. It's probably my end. It's got to be your end, buddy, because I'm not seeing it on mine, on my phone. Sorry to hear that, man. That sucks. Any additional buildings you can construct here, and there's a slew of buildings once we get more technologies. You can construct those here. You can produce units at your colony. There's also sector production. Once you annex some sectors to this colony, you can decide what addition, like not just what kind of exploitation it is. So whether it's a food exploitation to produce food, or an energy exploitation to produce more energy. But you can also add extra bonus buildings in that exploitation to make it more effective. This tab controls our colonists. I don't want it auto set. I never want it auto set. So what you can do is you can actually, this is like assigning pops to jobs in Stellaris. But in this case, it's a lot simpler because there's only the 5 resources in a colony to worry about. There's food, where, as you can see in the top section there, as you produce more food, your colony grows faster. So once you hit a certain food threshold, how do I word this? Yeah, a lot of power outages. You're not the first person that I heard that from. Apparently, that was in one of Angry Joe's recent videos. They're having a lot of power outages down there in Austin, Texas, too. So I can't say I'm terribly surprised, but that really sucks. Anyways, so yeah, the more food your colony produces, the faster it will grow, and you can actually share that food with other colonies to help those colonies grow faster as well. So food is about colony growth. It's not like in Stellaris where you stockpile it and you feed your empire that way. No, more food production means faster colony growth. You get more colonists to put in the job slots sooner, and they can produce more resources for you. Energy is the basic resource. It's required for the upkeep of buildings, the upkeep of units, and it costs energy to produce more units. So energy is quite important, and you constantly need to be producing quite a bit of it. The orange gear is production. The more production that your colony has, the faster it generates, the faster it constructs things. Everything has a production cost. Units, buildings, constructing exploitations of sectors, stuff like that. The purple one is knowledge. This is basically researching technologies. The more colonists you have here, the more knowledge that's being produced, the faster you research new techs. And this last one is happiness. Happiness events can trigger once you've generated enough happiness. For example, it says here we'll have a happiness event in 3 turns. When a happiness event triggers, you get an allocation of some bonus resources. It could be more production in that colony, so it's like whatever you're producing, all of a sudden, bam, 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 you just finished the next 3 things in the production queue. It could be a stockpile of energy. It could be a stockpile of cosmite. It could be a little bit of influence. You name it. Happiness is also important because when you're at negative happiness, you can start to experience things like riots. So rioters occur. Rioters are caused by unhappiness events and hostile operations launched against your colony. To get rid of rioters, ensure that you have a positive happiness income or activate martial law in your colony. This will turn rioters back into normal colonists over time. So what I want to do is we're going to stick all 3 colonists in the production slots first, because I need to get the first couple things built faster. Unfortunately, it's still going to take 2 turns to construct that stuff, which really, really sucks. So maybe I'll change that. Okay, so for my first colony, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on having it produce food. So we're going to construct a central biofarm, and then we're going to plop all 3 colonists into the food slots. This will give us a 4th colonist in 1 turn, so I can also put it in a food slot or something, maybe. And the reason why I want to do that is I'm actually going to try and have this colony focus on food production, which once it's developed, I will actually share it with the other colonies, so that the other colonies can focus on things like energy production or production of knowledge, stuff like that. And their food, they will just take it from our main colony here. We had a 1/4 inch of freezing rain just 2 days ago, so trees and lines are down, a foot of sleet today, and another storm coming in a few days. That's pretty fucked up. And I know further south, like, we joke about it all the time when we hear about it, where it's like, oh, they got 3 centimeters of snow in this town, and they had to completely shut down. Oh, what a bunch of lightweights. They should drag 3 feet of snow. But the truth is, like, you guys aren't prepared for things like snow removal and stuff like that. How many fucking trucks do you have that work for the city that have like a snow plow on them? 0. So yeah, like a few inches or a few centimeters of snow, a city in the southern parts of the states, you're just not equipped to handle that. So yeah, the city will basically shut down. They don't have studded tires like I do. Yeah, that as well. Like, how many people buy winter tires where you live, LOTR fan? Like, really? Everybody here in Canada, we have to build winter tires. Here's the other thing I found out. I actually got genuinely kind of irked when one of my coworkers, he drives a European car. We're going to end our turn because it takes a while for it to pass. Your opponents are moving around, and the NPCs will move. The NPC factions will move. So let's let that pass. He drives a car. I think it's an Audi. I can't remember. But it doesn't have a block heater. We have to have them here. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have a block heater, so when it gets cold, and it's, like I said, it's been minus 30 fucking 5 Celsius, which is like, I don't know, minus 25 to minus 30 Fahrenheit, something like that. Really fucking cold. It's been really fucking cold here for the last week and a half, and he doesn't have a block heater. A block heater you plug into an electrical socket, and it uses that power to maintain some heat in the engine block, so that like the oil doesn't get all thick and soupy and stuff like that, so that your engine has a way easier time starting in extremely cold temperatures. It helps prevent extra stress and wear on the engine when you try to start it in the extreme cold. But this guy's car, because it was manufactured, like, he got it imported from somewhere in the States, and it was obviously manufactured somewhere down south. It doesn't have a fucking block heater. He said they told him he would have to pay extra for that. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Why would they sell the car in Canada if it doesn't have a block heater for the first place? Like, it's so stupid. Luckily, I live in a pretty big city with a lot of snow trucks. We just don't get a lot of salt. Ah, gotcha. This has been the first winter with serious weather in a while, but yeah, almost no one has snow tires. Yeah, just get it. Apparently, he said it was like $2,000 to install the block heater, dude. So, like, it's not cheap. This guy's a blue-collar worker. Okay. So we got 2 things we can do here. There's a notification here. Histerber, that's the name of our capital? I'm going to change that. Histerber can annex its first sector. So when your colony when your colonies get enough colonists, they can annex another sector up to 4 or 6. Maybe I'll get into that later. So it's still producing its central biofarm, and we're going to keep all of our colonists in the food slots to just generate that much food. What's it made of? Gold? No, it's probably just labor costs and shit. It's highway robbery, dude. It's a fucking car dealership. Anyways, the hell was I talking about? Give me 1 second. I'm actually going to move the streaming box to the top middle, because in the top left it's kind of in the way there. Give me 1 sec. Okay, that's way better. I couldn't quite see it in the top left, but there's those two little circles there that indicate what technologies you're researching and how much knowledge you're producing. I wasn't able to see them. The box was in the way, so it's better where it is now. Okay, so now that our colony has 4 colonists, we can annex a sector. And how we determine which sector we want to annex is we go here to this economy strategic view. So as you'll see, there's these little symbols of the resources just above the sector's main central point. And what that determines is the kind of resources that that sector will produce. So for example, this sector has 1 food icon, 2 energy icons, and 1 knowledge icon. You can get it where it's 1 food, 1 production, 1 energy, and 1 knowledge. In which case it's kind of like a fairly balanced sort of sector. What we're looking for is, because we want this colony to produce food, we want to annex sectors with the double food icon. What that does is it means that the sector exploitation will be a higher level right off the bat. Higher level sector exploitations just produce more resources. So like, for example, a level 1 food, or sorry, well, you pretty much don't have a level 1 food exploitation, I guess, unless you're an idiot. But it is a thing. A level 1 food exploitation might only produce like plus 10 food and provide an additional 2 food job slots at the colony that annexed it. But a plus 3 will produce like plus 30 food and add maybe 6 more colonist slots to the colony. And like a level 5 will have even more bonuses. So we want to find sectors that have the double food icon. So we've got one here and we've got one up here. Thankfully they're connected, so we'll be able to annex both of these sectors and make them food sectors for our starting colony. So let's go ahead and annex Healer's Forest. So it takes a turn for it to fully annex, and this does not take up the production queue of the colony. And when we do annex that sector, it creates a sector base, which will then have a road connecting it to any adjacent colonies or sector bases or frontier outposts that we have. So it's a lot easier for your units to travel around in your territory, which is super handy. Okay, so let's go back to our scouts. We got our owl here. He's going to zip down here, grab this pickup. Bloop. 22 energy. I'll take that. Where else can we go? Okay, so these little yellow symbols, that means that there is some kind of like a stack of an army there. They're only being picked up on sensors, so I can't see what they are just yet. I'm going to have this owl fly back up here because this is another free pickup that is not being guarded. I think it's a food stash. It looks like a food stash. Can't quite tell. Some bonus food now would help jump up the... it might jump us up to getting another colonist in the colony right away. Let's send this owl up here. See if there's any more pickups in this area. Lots of stuff, though. Scouting around is also super useful. There's another landmark. So, here's a good example. So this is a landmark. It counts as a level 3 research exploitation. So you can see there in that research exploitation level 3 box, a level 1 research exploitation gives us 1 colonist slot for working research. So you get 1 colonist slot and plus 10 knowledge income. A level 2 gives you 2 colonist slots plus 15 knowledge income. A level 3 gives you 3 colonist slots plus 20 income. Level 4, 4 slots, 25 income. Level 5, 5 slots, 30 income. So the higher level your research exploitations or your sector exploitations are, this is true for food, production, energy, whatever. The higher level it is, the more passive income it creates and the more colonist slots it produces for that colony. So you want to get them higher level as much as possible. If I annexed a sector that did not have a single food icon in it, it would be stuck at like a level 1 food exploitation until I upgraded it, which is a thing. However, since I am annexing this exploitation, which has 2 levels to it already, just because of the climb and the terrain, it's going to start off as a level 3 food exploitation right off the hop. So that's really cool. And when we upgrade it, it'll eventually hit level 5. Love the content as always, but got to call it a night. Can't wait to watch it all on YouTube. Thanks, Mickey B. You have a good one, buddy. Good to see you, man. Okay, we've also got a couple monuments here. This is an Imperial War Monument. If we take control of it, it gives us plus 10 food and plus 10 production to the colony it's linked to. These are buildings. Like, this is a building. This is not a landmark. The landmark, it tends to be in like the middle of the sector. Like, this is the middle of the wildlife pasture sector. You can also get additional buildings that provide additional production bonuses. They can give you more food, more production, more energy, more happiness, more knowledge. You name it. They can just give you more stuff if you gain control of those buildings. You have to defeat the people protecting it, though, which we're going to do in just a second. Okay, so set military research. We can now select our research options. So we got 2 free texts at the start of the game. We got Subjugation Ordinance, which gives us a unit mod, Flechette Ammunition. We can attach this to any unit that has a firearms weapon. And what it does is it has a chance for that firearm to inflict bleeding on enemy cyborg and biological units, which is basically DOT damage. It also gives a 10% increase in damage to all abilities that the unit has equipped it with. Now, mods, they all give it some kind of a bonus. There are offensive ones that just increase the damage on all your abilities, and defensive ones that either provide some armor or some shields or bonus health. So every mod does something. Sometimes they give extra effects. Like, for example, you get some where it's like a shoulder-mounted missile launcher for your troopers, so they can not just, throw a grenade or shoot their assault rifles, but they can also shoot a long-range missile across the battlefield and blast a few foes with that. Or you can just give them mods which adds on to their small array of attacks. For example, if we gave flechette ammo to our troopers right now, then all their attacks with the assault rifles have a chance to inflict bleeding, and they do 10% more damage. This also gives us what's called a tactical operation. When we get into a battle, we can use a tactical operation called a shredder bomb, which is these are things that are only used in battle. And what this one does is it drops a shredder bomb onto the battlefield. It deals 12 kinetic damage in a 1 hex radius area of effect and has a chance to apply bleeding. So tactical operations are things that you use in tactical combat, and there's only a certain amount that you can use. They cost energy to activate, and they're instantaneous, so it's extra ways to go on the offensive or protect your units with tactical operations in combat. And there's also strategic operations as well, which we'll get to some once we've completed some society research. Is this a Paradox game? It's published by Paradox Interactive, but it was developed by Triumph Studios. This particular track is called Trade Syndicate. It's one of my favorites. Top notch. There's different tracks that play when you're in the strategic map and managing your empire and your colonies and stuff. And then there's combat music that plays when you are in a tactical battle. So the other technology we got was Nanite Support. This gives us a more defensive-oriented unit mod. This gives our units an additional ability where they use nanite injectors to heal themselves for 15 hit points, and it increases its resistances to all damage channels by 3 points for 2 turns. So for 2 turns, any attacks do 3 points less damage is basically how it goes. They can only use this once per battle. And also, just by equipping this mod, they get plus 1 point of armor. Armor and shields are defensive stats that reduce the incoming damage from attacks, except for certain attacks that can bypass them, and that is a thing. We also get 2 more tactical operations available. We got the Nanite Support Station. Drops a Nanite Support Station onto the battlefield. The Nanite Support Station has a built-in blur field, which gives obscured to all units. This makes them harder to hit from enemy attacks, especially ranged attacks. In addition, the station heals all adjacent friendly units 10 hit points at the start of each turn. So if we keep our units grouped around this Nanite Support Station, they're harder to hit, and they heal hit points at the start of each turn. The Nanite Support Station is destroyable, so it can be hit with an enemy ability that does damage and destroyed. It only has 20 hit points, and it doesn't move. And then the other tactical operation is the Combat Assist System. Sends a Combat Assist drone to assist the target unit. The drone purges any negative status effects like burning or poisoned or bleeding, and provides +2 to shields while it is active for up to 3 turns. So the 2 shields will have it taking a little bit less damage from incoming attacks for those 2 turns, or sorry, for those 3 turns while this operation is active. So there's offensive and supportive and even defensive things that you can do. So we can take a look at the... we're looking at the military tree of technologies. Now you can actually get colonies for the different races, the different factions under your control, in which case you research the technologies to get their specific mods and units and tactical operations from those specific factions. But as far as the actual weapons technologies, because we're Vanguard, we can only research the laser and the firearms technologies. And firearms, it's a very straightforward tree. You just go straight down the line. You go all the way down until you get the more powerful technologies, which are way up here, which give you more powerful mods, more powerful tactical operations that you can use in combat, stuff like that. So we could research the electromagnetic utilization, which gives us electrified ammo. This changes all of any of our units with a basic firearms weapon, like our troopers. Instead of shooting basic bullets, their ammunition is electrified and has a chance to apply the electrified effect to those units that they're shooting. Plus it gives 10% increased damage on all abilities. We can only equip 1 ammunition per unit. It also gives us another offensive kind of unit mod. The rail accelerator increases the accuracy of firearms attacks by 10% and gives them 1 extra hex of attack range. So this one's really good. I really like the rail accelerator, and it also adds 10% increased damage on all abilities. So that one's really good. I'm going to want to get that one soon. But we've also got laser weapons. We can get a mod that we can equip to units that have a laser weapon called the Ignition Module if we get this research done. This unit's laser weapons have a chance to set targets on fire, causing burning for 3 turns. Burning deals 5 thermal damage per turn, as well as making the affected unit 20% easier to hit. So normally laser weapons, you just shoot them with the laser, they take thermal damage, that's it. With this mod though, they have a chance to catch on fire. Additionally, this mod grants the unit 20% increased damage on all abilities. This would also give us the Laser Strike tactical operation. This calls in a laser strike at the target on a single unit, and it deals 25 thermal damage with massive impact, which staggers them, and has a chance to inflict burning as well. So you get all sorts of cool stuff with these technologies. You get tactical operations, you get mods, you also get strategic operations, which are used to like buff your colonies and stuff like that. You can also get more units that you can construct and all that good stuff. Phase manipulation. I kind of want this one. Now at the bottom here, this bottom section, this is your secret tech technologies, and as you can see here, Echo Walker program. This is how we get the ability to produce Echo Walkers in our colonies. By getting that research done, there's also the Phase Manipulator program, which gives us the Phase Manipulator unit. So you just get more units as you go down the tree, and you also get Voidtech. You also get Voidtech mods as well. So for example, Phase Manipulation. Hang on, let me get the cursor there. There we go. Phase Manipulation gives us a unit mod, the Phase Walk Modulator. This unit gains Phase Field. The unit is able to walk through obstacles and is 15% harder to hit in combat with any attacks directed at it. Additionally, this mod grants the unit +1 shield. So it's a much more defensive-oriented kind of mod, but being able to walk through obstacles in combat is actually pretty good, especially for melee units like our Echo Walkers. So I'm going to want that. There's also like really cool mods that I just love that the Voidtech has. So we've got the Quantum Avatar mod. Whenever this unit takes damage, so this is when we equip this mod to a heavy unit, so like a tank. Whenever the unit takes damage, its attacker is teleported 1 hex away from their current position and has a chance to receive Dimensional Instability, which is a special kind of status effect applied by Voidtech attacks. The unit and any Voidtech or Voidtech modded units adjacent to it with the Quantum Avatar mod receives 2 shields. So whoever has this equipped gets +2 shields, and any adjacent Voidtech units, like other Echo Walkers or even other units that are considered Voidtech because they have Voidtech mods, they get +2 shields from being next to this unit with the Quantum Avatar. And then you also get a nice little tactical operation called Dimensional Collapse. This collapses reality around the target with a chance to instantly kill them without leaving a corpse. If this fails, it instead deals 30 kinetic damage and massive impact instead. You cannot target commanders with this. So you can target heroes with it, but not commanders. This is a way more powerful tactical operation than, Laser Strike, for example. So, as you progress down the tree, you get more powerful units, you get more powerful mods. Well, I shouldn't say more powerful units. You get bigger, beefier, more costly units. You get stronger mods, all sorts of crazy shit. Stronger tactical operations. Now, the society tech tree is largely the same for every faction. This middle section, the economy section, is all about improving the production and resource generation of your colonies. It's the same for every faction pretty much. This bottom one is operations. This is about enacting strategic operations and on the strategic map, as well as covert operations against your enemies as well. And then the very top is called Doctrine. These are determined, what you get from these are determined by the faction you're playing as and your secret tech. So because we're playing as the Vanguard, our very first Doctrine technology is Frontier Policies. Doctrines are bonuses that you get to choose what you have active. You can only have so many doctrines active, but you can enable and disable them whenever you want. And they give different bonuses. Right now, you can see in the top right, there's that white kind of scroll symbol. We can only have one doctrine active right now. If we get this Frontier Policies tech, we can choose either Frontier Survival, which gives us +15 food in all of our colonies. That's +15 food production in all of our colonies. Or we can get Colony Militia, which reduces the production cost of all units by 10%. And the production cost is further reduced by an extra 5% for each military infrastructure or defense building in your colony. So it basically makes units cheaper, is how that goes. And then the very next doctrine is Quantum Gain, which is a Voidtech doctrine. So we've got a doctrine operation called Echo Protocols, where all colonies, where you have colonists working in either food, energy production, or knowledge slots, they produce +1 of their respective resource per colonist working on it. And then the other option is preventative surveillance. Scout units and colonies get +2 sensor and vision range. Non-scout units get +1 sensor and vision range. So this helps you kind of scout around the battlefield. And you get these different doctrines. Like I said, they're dependent on the faction you're playing as well as your secret tech. They'll be different. So for them, they'll largely be the same if you're playing the same faction and secret tech combination that you've played before. But for the most part, those are the only ones in the entire society tree that will be different. Okay, what do we want to do here? We could get Engineering Core. That gives us the Engineer unit, which has a shotgun attack. Instead of shooting multiple times, it just runs. Once it's in range, it shoots once and does a decent amount of damage. It can repair mechanical units. It can buff mechanical units, and it can also place a gun turret, which is a semi-temporary unit that will stay on the battlefield until the end of combat, and it can shoot at enemies. So I don't know what I want to pick here, really. I'm thinking phase manipulation, because I really like the reactive phase protection tactical operation. This causes it so that your target unit that you activate this tactical operation on, it receives reactive phase defense for 3 turns. Each time the unit takes damage, it is teleported to a random hex within 2 hexes of their original position. So it really fucks with enemy attacks. I like that one. We'll take that. And then here we are going to take... Ooh, this is tough. Aquatic Deployment is kind of nice because it reduces... the move points that your units use or your armies use when crossing rivers, so they move around better and move across rivers better. We're going to take Frontier Policies though, because I want to get this Frontier Survival Doctrine. This will increase the amount of food production in our first couple colonies, and it'll just help them grow a little bit faster. All right, let's get into some combat. That's enough yakking out of me, eh? You guys bored yet? Huh? I know you are. Don't lie. Alright, we're going to get into some combat. We're going to attack this Marauder Guard, which is just like an NPC army, and it's a pickup. And this pickup will automatically level up all of our... Well, it will automatically rank up our units in the army, but it will level up our commander in this case. So we're going to attack. So, because they see that we are stronger than them, we can allow them to retreat, which will increase our reputation. And that's kind of like how other people view you. Positive reputation determines how other people view you. Negative reputation means that you're a deplorable person and people will more than likely hate you. So we can allow them to retreat to improve our reputation, but I want the XP from the combat, so we're going to down. Now, whenever you initiate battle, you can see there's your attacker power, which is our army's strength. It's rated at 815, and then the defender power is only 420. So it's considered a very low-risk battle. It's a little tough to see, but it does say it right beneath that little thing in the middle. Very low-risk battle. That's why they wanted to run away. So we have two options here. I can hit X to execute auto combat, in which case it'll just kind of pause the game for a little bit, and it will play out on and be like, boom, here's a... this is actually something you do when you launch combat itself. Unfortunately, we lost a trooper. Want to, so I'm going to hit the retry button. We're going to get into manual combat now. This is where the game turns into XCOM. You move your units around the tactical battlefield, have them use their attacks and abilities, and it's turn-based, and this is the real bread and butter of Age of Wonders Planetfall right here. So, because we are attacking, these other guys get to move first. Oh, those guys just put up their deployable cover, so they're protected. And now they're all in defense mode. Okay. So, these troopers, they have this eye symbol. That means they're on Overwatch. If we enter their attack range, they will automatically shoot at us. These guys, they have that sword symbol over them. They are on melee Overwatch. If we had a unit enter or leave any adjacent hex, they would get a free melee attack on them. These guys are also in defense mode, but they are kind of protected by the cover. They set up this little barricade around them. And this flyer unit is also in defense mode. It has no cover, but because it's flying, it is harder to hit by default, which is a pain in the ass. Okay, so let's see. This is our commander. He's got a laser rifle. All right. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to first move up our Echo Walkers. I want them to approach these guys. Now, as you can see, there's these shield symbols next to the pieces of cover. There's partial cover, which is the half shield symbol, meaning that you can see over it and shoot over it, or shoot through it, I should say. And then the full shield, that's full cover. It offers a higher defensive bonus and is harder to hit our units. So it's a pretty protective piece because the full cover is facing all of their units right now. So I'm going to put the Echo Walkers here because they need to get closer. They're a melee unit. We need to try and get them closer. Let's put them in defense mode, which will increase their evasion as well. So they're protected. Now, another thing I want to do is we're going to move our commander closer, and I want to put the commander on Overwatch because they're going to try and approach us. Oh, this is like that game I played on Advance many years ago. Can't think of what it's called. Final Fantasy Tactics Advance? Throwing out a guess. So we have a couple units of ourselves that can use Overwatch. Our own troopers can do that, which is these guys here. Now, if you notice, there's the green health bar above each unit, but there's also those three blue kind of boxes. That determines how many action points they have. Certain attacks are called repeating attacks, where however many action points that unit has left, if it's a repeating attack, they will the remaining action points and attack that many times. So with 3 action points, with all 3 of those blue boxes, the troopers will actually shoot 3 times with their assault rifles. As you can see in the lower left section there, I move the cursor here, they're down to 2 action points, but if I move them only 1 square, they still have all 3 action points. The same applies to their Overwatch. If somebody enters their vision with Overwatch, if they had less action points when I put them in Overwatch, they will shoot less times. So I'm just going to put them here. They still have 2 action points, and now I'm going to put them in Overwatch right there. So if anybody gets in their overwatch range, they will shoot at them twice and do some damage. Okay, now we're going to do the same with the commander. I'm going to put him right up here. Still has 2 action points. We're going to put him in overwatch as well. And then our last trooper, we will do the same thing. We don't really have great cover for them, unfortunately. You know what? We're just going to move the last trooper. We're going to put them like right here. They still have 2 action points, so let's put them in overwatch up this way. I am going to take this pug. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move it here, where it's behind cover. Now, what I want to do is the pug is a support unit. He has healing charge, so once per battle, he can heal a unit for 25 hit points right away. He can also do the resupply charge, which any abilities that are currently on cooldown or can only be used once per battle, they're reset on that unit. So if you have a unit that has like a slew of abilities that are on cooldown, or that it can only use once per battle and it's already used them, you can use this resupply charge and bam, all those abilities are back and available again. And you can even use it on the pug itself. So you can use a healing charge, use a resupply charge on itself, and then you have a second healing charge. The other thing that we have for the pug is this blur cloud. Target friendly unit 40% harder to hit for 2 turns. So what I want to do is I'm going to try and bait them in closer with the assault bike. So I'm just going to move the assault bike right here, because activating this blur cloud, it has a very limited range. So I'm going to use blur cloud on the assault bike like that. There. Now that assault bike is obscured, you can see the smoke coming off of it. Then I'm going to move the assault bike right here. It's behind partial cover, so it's a little bit protected, but the obscured will still make it harder to hit. And I want to turn it towards the enemy. If enemy units or you manage to sneak around and get on the sides of units and attack from the sides, you actually get a flanking damage bonus. So you got to be careful of that. Might be a long time ago. Fair enough. I'm just throwing out a guess. I know Final Fantasy Tactics Advance is another kind of turn-based tactical strategy game, sort of. Okay, so that's all we can do. We could use a tactical operation. Wait, we can't because it's the first turn. I'm sorry. So we have to wait another turn before we can use a tactical operation. So I'm just going to end my turn. There we go. Now the enemies are going to move. That guy just did something. Holy shit. He dashed all the way over there, and he triggered Overwatch on 2 of our troopers. So you can see he got pretty shot up. Now that owl used targeting field, which kind of counteracts the blur field that we gave him. And that kind of sucks. Now those troopers are moving up. Trying to shoot our Echo Walkers. I'm not a fan of that. So our Echo Walkers got pretty badly beaten up there. Now these guys are moving in. Jeez, our Echo Walker is on the verge of death. That's not good. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We can use a tactical operation now. So what I'm going to do is, if you look at the very bottom right by our commander portrait, there's the energy symbol there, 678 energy, but right above that is 2 tactical operation points. That determines how many tactical operations you can use in a single combat, or basically on a single turn. I only have 2 points, so I can either use 2 combat assist systems in a single round of combat, in a single combat mission. I can use 1 Nanite Support system because it costs 2 tactical operation points, or I can use 1 Shredder Bomb. I'm leaning towards the Nanite Support Station, because what I want to do with that is I want to drop it... Oh, geez, where do I want to drop it? I can't put it there. Oh, I have an idea. I'm going to put it right here. Oop. There we go. So now the Echo Walker is obscured. I need to try and save that guy. I don't know how I'm going to do it, though. So let's get the assault bike over here to help out. So I'm going to move the assault bike right here. We're going to shoot this guy that dashed in, and he's really badly hurt now. There we go. Staggered him. So his melee overwatch is canceled. Now, we're going to use the Echo Walker's special ability, Quantum Pulse. The unit splits into alternate versions of itself. The clone unit teleports a short distance, delivering a burst of instability, leaving the original version behind. This clone lasts only for a couple turns. We're going to put it here. There we go. Unfortunately, we put dimensional instability on our units, but that's okay. Now, by creating that clone, we still have one action point left. So we're going to use it on this guy. Whack.
Enemy
there we
down.
go. That guy's dead. Unfortunately, this guy is facing away from their troopers and whatnot, so he will suffer flank damage. So I need to get these guys... these guys only have one action point, so let's just stick him like right here for now. And he's still obscured, so let's have him enter defense mode. Oh wait, he can't. He didn't. Shit. Can I undo that move? There we go. Okay. So by moving him here, he loses his action point. Let's rotate him the correct direction, right like that. And then we'll just put him in defense mode. There. He should be pretty hard to hit now. Alright. So that was those guys. Let's go ahead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move these guys up here. And I want them to use a grenade to do a little bit of area damage. I have to hit that target. 1, 2, 3. I need to put them there. I don't want to. Damn. Can't get close enough. But I can do it anyways. Shit. Alright, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? I've also got my commander ready to use his laser rifle as well. He's way out of range. That guy's way out of range, though. So I'm just going to put this guy... I'm going to put our commander on Overwatch. Like so. Oh, shit. You know what I should have done is I should have used the Pug's healing charge on the Echo Walker before I had him split up. Because then they would both be kind of healthy. Damn, I fucked that up. That's okay. Alright, healing charge on this Echo Walker. There, that should save him. So if this copy of the Echo Walker dies, even though this guy was kind of the original, if he dies, then the copy that he made becomes the Echo Walker unit, which is pretty cool. Alright, so let's move these troopers. I want to get these guys all up on Overwatch. So we're going to move these troopers. First things first, let's move these troopers up to here. There we go. I'm going to get them to throw a grenade because it will stagger these guys. And when they're staggered, they lose an action point. There we go. So they can't move as far, and if they had like repeating attacks, they would not be able to attack as often. And we'll move these guys up. They're now in the Nanite Support system. They're just going to be on Overwatch. And that's all we can do this turn. Here comes these guys. They triggered the Overwatch. Gonna get shot a little bit. Not very much, though. These guys are probably just going to throw a grenade into everybody. Yep. Boom.
Damn it.
There goes one of our Echo Walker copies. That's okay. And they shot our commander. Holy. Commander shoots back with his Overwatch. And this Owl unit will try to kill our commander.
Our leader
Damn it.
shall return.
Oh, this is not going well. I'm going to have to replay this. I don't like how many losses we are taking. Okay. Alright. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Alright, Echo Walker. You go ahead and hit this guy. These guys are melee, so they can only hit ground units. So I'm just going to move them up here. Boop. There you go. Got him. Now, the Pug, he's a support unit, but he can still attack. So let's go ahead and stick him here. How badly can we hurt these guys? I want these trenchers gone. Let's move these guys here. They have a better shot. There, 95% chance to hit. That's way better. Pew, 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 pew. There we go. That's more like it. Alright, now these guys... they can only get the 2 shots. They only have a 50% chance of hitting, but I'll take it. I'm going to put them here because they're still next to the Nanite Support unit. Oh, shit. Worst chance. The piece of cover is in the way. Son of a bitch. Alright. Let's move over here. Now, the Pug does not have a repeating attack. He just gets within range, and he has one big blaster attack. He doesn't shoot multiple times. So let's get this guy to kill him.
Enemy down.
Bye-bye. And then we'll get the assault bike to zip in over here. Oh, maybe that was a bad idea. Hang on a second. I got a better idea. Undo last move. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move the assault bike behind these guys because I'm going to get flanking damage that way. The Owl is going to shoot us in the butt, though, which is fine. we should be okay. So now with the flanking damage, we're going to kill this guy.
Enemy destroyed.
Got him. Alright, now that guy comes around. Who's he shooting? Yep. Okay, so now we can move up our assault troopers and just start wailing on this fucking owl unit. Pew, 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 pew. Okay, there's a good hit. And another good hit. And another good hit. Nice job. 65% chance to get all those. We're just going to park the Echo Walker right here and keep them hidden because they can't do shit against a flying unit. And then we'll move this trooper here and have them attack as well. They still have only have one. They still have 3 action points, so they can shoot 3 times, and they should get a kill. No, it's a graze, but it's okay. They missed, and they missed again. Oh, great. Okay, that's XCOM, baby. All right, let's move the assault bike way over here and shoot you in the butt.
They never stood a chance.
Bye. There we go. So we did win that battle, but goddamn, we lost the commander. We're going to retry that again. I'm trying to do this without losing a unit in our first little battle. So I'm going to try that one more time. A little less talking. I'm just going to kind of move shit around and do stuff, I think. Okay, so maybe... Yeah, I'm going to have to play that differently. I don't know how, though, because that guy's got that jumping ability, and he got right in the middle of our units like that. And he did a lot of damage, too. Well, I shouldn't say he did a lot of damage, but he caused a lot of damage. Okay, so let's just go ahead. We'll move our commander right here. Set him to Overwatch, like so. We'll put the Pug. Let's move the Echo Walker. Let's put the Echo Walker up here for now. Then we'll do the Pug. Move up to here. Give the Echo Walker the Blur Cloud. There we go. Now we'll take the Echo Walker, put him behind cover, and go into defense mode. Make him harder to hit. And now our troopers, we will move them up a teeny tiny bit. Here's the assault bike. What do I want to do with him? I don't even know. Let's just put the assault bike like right over here. There we go. I'm okay with that. And now we'll move these troopers over this way and put them on Overwatch, because I'm expecting that guy to dive in again. Then these troopers will move over here, put them on Overwatch too. This has all 3, our 2 troopers and our commander. They all had 3 action points when on Overwatch. So if something enters their Overwatch range, they'll shoot it 3 times. There he goes. Pew, 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 pew. 1, 2, 3. The commander should also get some shots on him. Pew, pew, pew. And he missed all 3. Well, he grazed 1. Whoop-de-doo. Great. Brilliant. Okay, the assault bike is now targeted. Oh my god. We might lose the Echo Walker right away.
Unit lost.
We did. Fuck's sake. I just want to not take losses. Can I please do that? God damn it. Alright, let's move this guy up here. Can you shoot this dude? Without missing? Here's another graze. Here's a hit. Alright. Take it. Not great, but acceptable. Ooh, we can shoot these guys. 25%. No, we'll 40%? Yeah, I'll take it. Fuck it. Let's see what happens. Oh, perfect. This is not going well. Alright. Let's, this guy right here. Blast him. There we go. That's what I wanted. And, the Pug can finish him off.
Enemy down.
There we go. Now we'll get the commander to... Let's get the commander to move right up here. Actually, let's put him a little bit closer. And we'll throw a grenade at these guys to stagger them. Maybe take out their cover as well. Cloop. There we go. Peace out. That guy's going to blast our assault bike a lot. That's not good. And the trooper's going to kill it.
Unit has fallen.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is not going well. Way too many losses in our first battle. Way too many losses. I'm gonna have to do this a third time for fuck's sake. God damn it! I know I only had a 45% chance, but still. Fuck! Try this.
Enemy
There we go,
annihilated.
thank you. Alright, there's not much point in staggering the trencher because they do all their attacks in a single blast. So I just need to do damage to them. Oh yeah, they also take less damage being attacked from the front because they have those shields. I didn't use an operation this time. That's okay. Ouch. Commander got whacked, and now he's going to get shot up a bunch by this friggin' owl. Flanked both times, eh? Okay. Duly noted. And let's give him a healing charge. There we go. Alright, now that this guy is flanked, we need to throw... Sorry, he's in defense mode. We need to throw a grenade at him to stagger him and get him out of defense mode. Otherwise he's going to hit whoever's next to him when they attack. Alright, here we go. That's better. Die!
Enemy down.
There we go. Alright, now let's go after the flyer. Pew, pew, pew. There we go. We're still okay. And let's kill this thing. I'm gonna have to do this a third time. Twice in a row I'm just taking way too many losses. That's just brutal. Brutal, I say. Hey, at least you guys are getting a good taste of what tactical combat is like. Having to replay the same damn thing over and over. Okay, different plan. Those guys are gonna like leap in right away, so I'm gonna keep everybody away from them. I'm gonna hang back and just set up Overwatch firing positions and leave it at that. Alright, so let's go here and go on Overwatch. Like so. Put the pug over here. Actually, maybe I should have put the Echo Walker over there. Ah, well, it doesn't matter. Let's go like that. Let's put the Echo Walker right here. Turn them this way. There we go. And these guys, let's kind of set up a crossfire a little bit. Go over here. And we'll watch that. The commander over here, like so. And Overwatch more kind of this way, I think. Yeah, I like this. Go more to the right. And we'll just put the assault bike right here. The assault bike does quite a decent amount of damage and has stagger on its main attack, so I want to keep him close by because you can really fuck up their plans.
Operations ready.
All right, we got out some operations now, and what are these guys doing now? Okay, how far is that ability? Let's see. Burning Meteor Dash. Oh, it has a range of 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So anything up to that far away, you can just Burning Meteor Dash. Alright, so let's just keep the Echo Walkers like here. As is such. They're just going to move closer and closer, obviously, but I'm going to try and force them to jump in and kind of sort of waste it a little bit. Oop, there we go. And let's get this guy up here. This is our commander. Overwatch that way. These assault units up here. Overwatch that way. Now, if we keep going without inflicting any damage, the battle does just automatically end because it's like, oh, nobody got hurt. Maybe. Huh. I don't think I have an operation that causes... Oh, it does. Okay, good. Alright, so let's skip ahead. Okay, they didn't even move. Alright, duly noted. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to move the Echo Walkers... Oops, I didn't want to... That was a little too soon. Hang on a second. Let me undo that move. I'm going to move the Pug there. Let's put the Blur Cloud on the Echo Walkers, because I have a plan. We're going to drop a Shredder Bomb on these sons of bitches. What the hell? I went too fast. Whoops. We're going to drop a Shredder Bomb on these sons of bitches, like so. There we go. That staggered them. So now they can't use that fucking Burning Meteor Dash bullshit, because it requires all 3 action points, and we just took one out by staggering them. So that's good. That's good for us. Now let's move forward a little ways. How close do we got to be able to shoot these guys? Right there is good. Okay, so let's move these guys here. And, oh, we can take out a trooper. Or, well, we can heavily damage a trooper if we hit. There we go. Okay, that's fine. One hit is fine. I'm okay with that. Now we can move these guys, the commander, up. Let's just stick them right here. Put them on Overwatch. So, okay. And now, let's take our assault bike. And what do I want to do with that? Let's move these troopers up a little closer. So let's leave them right here. And they can't really hit much from there, though. Let's put them here. I need to be able to move them in the next turn and actually strike while the iron is hot, as they say. Alright, let's put this guy here, and bloop. There we go. And turn. This game is tough. Yeah, I told you I'm not very good at it. Okay, there's the trencher. They're going to blast their spike gun at us. Pow, 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 pow. Yep. Oh, shit. Those spike guns hurt. They really hurt. Uh-oh. We're going to have to pull those troopers back. They're bleeding, too. Very good. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to get our Echo Walkers to... oh, man, how do I want to play this? I want to take out the Phoenix Surge asshole. Or the melee guy. Okay, so let's move up here first. And we'll use... let's use a healing charge. Oh, he's out of range now. Shit, never mind. Alright, let's just shoot this guy. Do some damage. There we go. Okay, so it only grazed, but we're okay. Here's what we're going to do. Alright. I've got a plan. Sort of. Let's move these guys here. I'm going to have the assault bike goes all the way around like so. And they're going to use their special ability, which hits in a radius around them, like so. And he hit him. Good. Nice. We got a stagger, too. That's perfect. That's what I needed. Okay, so let's move the Echo Walkers up here. Okay, so he's only got 1 action point, so he would normally be able to attack once, but I'm going to use the Quantum Echo. Boom. There we go. Quantum Pulse. Sorry. Gotta go, Moby. Solid stream, bud. Might give this another look. Sounds good, JB. Have a good one. Alright, so now we have 2 units. One of them is behind him, so he's going to attack from the back and get the flanking damage bonus. Boom. There we go. And now we get this guy. Boop.
Enemy
there
down.
We go. Flanking damage. Yes, please. Alright, now these troopers, I'm going to pull back. I want to keep them alive. So this could go very badly. Let's keep him alive. Okay, now, can my commander shoot anybody? Not really. Well, he can, but you know what? Let's get him to throw a grenade at these other guys. I want to stagger them. So we moved them all the way up there, and now can we throw a grenade far enough on all of them? No, not really. It's okay. There we go. Okay. Now we'll move these guys up to here. And we can't do enough damage to kill this trooper, can we? No, we can't. Okay, so let's go ahead and 7 damage, 10 damage, 8 damage. Let's just go ahead and do more damage to the assault trooper if we can. There we go. Okay, I'll take that. Alright, that's not bad. Probably going to suffer some damage from the trooper and the owl with the repeating attacks, and the spike gun obviously does a lot of damage. Of course he grenades that. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And he just spike gunned our assault bike. Our assault bike's still okay, though, I think. Here comes the owl, the flyer. Phew!
Enemy
Phew.
destroyed.
They really want that assault bike. Okay, so the bleeding damage from the shredder bomb that we dropped earlier actually finished them off, which is good. Okay, now our trooper can finish off the trencher because we're going to get that flanking damage. There we go. That's way better.
Enemy annihilated.
Get fucked. Alright, now we should be able to move up. Let's just go ahead and use the Pug's healing charge on the assault bike. We'll get the assault bike to zip up right behind the owl first. Way up here. Get him to blast him. Phew! Big damage. There we go. Now that the owl... The nice thing about light units, and there's a lot of light units, like our basic troopers are light units. Our Echo Walkers are light units. When they get attacked from a flank, they turn towards their attacker. So now that we've done that, our other units that can actually shoot the owl unit are now getting a flanking damage bonus, so we can kill this guy pretty easily.
Our forces are victorious.
Finally! God damn! That was painful. That was straight up painful. Holy shit. Alright, we're done. There we go. Okay, now because we've done that, our commander is leveled up. We're gonna... So we've got 5 skill points to apply. There's a lot of skills that, as you can see, are also locked. So we get things like Phase Shift, which teleports the hero to a target hex, up to 7 hexes away. We can give him all-around awareness, where the hero can no longer be flanked. We can give him dimensional... we can give him dimensional feedback, which is another Voidtech skill. Yeah, very much better. Dimensional feedback. This unit reflects 50% of the damage done to it back at the attacker. You can also give it an extra mod slot, so that instead of just 3 mods like any other unit, you can equip your heroes with 4 mods. And that's actually quite powerful. We've also got Void Bullets. The hero's ranged attacks ignore 50% of the penalties from cover and units in the way. That's a Voidtech skill. And then there's also different skills depending on their faction. Dig In. The hero is an expert in taking cover and gains +2 resistance to all damage while in cover. That is actually a Vanguard skill. So depending on their faction, depending on their secret tech, they get different skills. There's a couple ones that are the same. Piloting. This allows the hero to equip vehicles instead of weapons. You can put them in a vehicle like a bike or something. And then advanced piloting allows you to put them in like heavier units like a tank. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-equip this guy as a melee hero. So I'm going to give him Vitality 1 and Close Quarters Specialist 1. So by giving him those, that actually unlocked Close Quarters Specialist 2 and Vitality 2, which we will definitely need a little bit later on. I want to improve his HP, especially if he's going to be in melee range. Confirm that. Alright, we're good. Can we change his equipment? Yes, we can. We could give him a laser sword, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I need some more support mods before we can do that. Okay, so that's fine. He leveled up. That's okay. We'll take it. Orders required. Let's go ahead and move down here. And we're going to attack... Do we want to? Ooh, what are those? Are those just indentured? Yes, they are. And there's also a scavenger. Dang, my iPad is about to die. Have a good night, Mobius. Great stream, man. I've got to get this game on sale. Yeah, dude, it's an awesome game. I'd like to attack these guys, but we need our units to kind of heal up a little bit. So I'm going to bring them back into our territory. They'll gain more health on the next turn, and then that's it. So unfortunately, that took a lot longer than I wanted it to. Spending like the last 20 minutes in the same bloody battle. That was painful. Holy shit. Like I said, I'm not good at this game. I understand how it works, but I am not good at it. Anyways, that's going to be it for tonight. Hopefully, actually, I know for a fact we'll be able to do more stuff. We'll start to be able to kind of explore the map, get more pickups, attack some of these landmarks and these buildings that have guards on them and stuff like that. We'll be able to build up our empire some more. I think I'll play some more of this on Thursday, because tomorrow's Tuesday, so it's going to be Stellaris Console Edition night. So I'm going to go ahead and save this game. I don't know what the hell it's going to auto-save start. Really? Okay, well, let's remove that save game. Yep. And do a new save. There we go. Saving game. Don't turn off your Xbox One. The saving in this game takes quite a while, though, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll be able to go a little bit more in detail. As you can see, there's now a road between the sector that we annexed and our home colony. Roads are automatically placed as your territory expands, so your empires can move around faster. We have an unexploited sector, so we can construct a sector exploitation, and it also completed its biofarm, so we're getting the bonuses from that structure, which is beautiful. But yeah, like I said, that's going to be it for tonight. As I've said numerous times, this game's fucking awesome. Unfortunately, we barely touched on the actual in-game stuff. I'm hoping to pseudo-correct that in the next stream. I had a lot of fun getting started with this. That's a good portion of the game. The customization of the commander is a lot, and the setting up your planet that you want to play on does take some time. And I'm spending a decent amount of time explaining how the fuck the game works, that's for sure. Because I know a lot of people watching this who dropped by my Twitch to watch this, and probably those of you watching this in the future on YouTube may not have ever seen this game again, so I kind of want to give you an idea of how it works. But we'll get into more of that later this week, so hopefully y'all come back for some more of this. I'm hoping I at least tickled your fancy with this kind of introduction into Age of Wonders Planetfall. Like I said, I really like this game, and I do understand how a lot of it works, but I'm just not very good at it. At least not yet. Anyways, that's it for tonight. My name is Mobius Y. Thank you very much for watching. Those of you watching this in the future on YouTube, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you also play Age of Wonders Planetfall. And if you would like to see me stream this into the far future, I could probably stream this very easily for like the rest of the year, no problem. Either alongside or after we go through the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I don't know. We'll see what goes on with that. My stream schedule could very well change as well. I might not wind up not streaming as often. Who knows? We'll see how the year goes. If I get busy with things like hockey or whatever, or other stuff, other activity once facilities open back up later in the year, I don't know. But for now, I want to stream this for at least the next few months. So hopefully I've intrigued everybody who's watched it. So if you are watching this in the future on YouTube, please consider subscribing if you want to see some more of my content. The goal for 2021 is to try and hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of December. It's a pretty tall order, but I think we can do it together. I need your help to do so, obviously, so the best things you can do is hit that red subscribe button and share my content with anybody who you think might enjoy watching it. You'll also find links in the description below. There's one for my Twitch channel, which I stream this off of. Come on by and interact with me whilst I'm playing live. Like I said, for the time being, Mondays and Thursdays, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you want to see me playing Age of Wonders Planetfall live, come on by then, and you can keep me company while I try to explain the game to you and show it off a little bit. You'll also find a link to my Twitter feed in the description below. Give me a follow there. I post important announcements all the time, and it's a great way to keep in touch with me. Last but not least, there is a link to my own personal Discord channel for fans of my content to freely join. It's not mandatory, but I highly recommend it, and hopefully I'll see you there. That's it for me tonight. This was a interesting Monday, so to speak. So yeah, I will see you back on Thursday with more Planetfall, and tomorrow we'll be jumping back into Stellaris Console Edition. So yeah, This is Mobius Y signing off for now, and I hope to see you again real soon. Take care.